Hello and welcome to another episode of the Transportation Exchange podcast presented by Rush Truck Centers of Canada. I'm your host, Jason Cuddy, and on today's episode, we welcome Manny Bajwa, who is an account manager here with us at Rush Truck Centers. Manny, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me, Sean.
So we had you on today because we wanted to kind of go in depth about how to properly spec a sleeper, or our model specifically is an LT, and you have done a lot of work with a lot of fleets, in this region. And so you were kind of our go-to for a lot of tips and tricks. So we thought we'd pick your brain to help all our listeners and viewers of how to properly spec an LT for their application.
Definitely, I can try to give you as many tips I can.
Yes, no, you're definitely well versed. So let's start on the one that probably confuses people a lot of times, which is, traditionally we're talking with sleeper, and the most common ones are high rise and sky rise. Maybe walk us through kind of the misconception people get with the two names and which one do they really want?
Technically, when you say the high rise, in mind comes it's the bigger bunk. Basically, the sky rise is the bigger one. Especially GTA market or the mostly company, they have a team drivers. They prefer the sky rise because we get a full bunk, 73-inch full bunk, double bed, and full height kind of thing. But traditionally, some Western Canada people prefer sky rise versus high rise kind of thing. But the overall, for my opinion, resale value. The Skyrise is better, and when you're ordering the truck, it doesn't cost much, maybe $700 or $800 difference only. But overall, the Skyrise is better on the terms of the better value end user kind of thing.
Gotcha. Well, makes sense. You got the full height, right? So,
That's correct,
worst case, you've got lots of storage.
That's
You're
right.
not going to use the bunk, right? And,
Yeah.
and physically on the outside, it's, the high rise has that balance over top anyway. So
Anyway, yeah.
it's the same aerodynamic functionality. So you're not losing out on either one. But to your point, the sky rise seems to be the more accepted model, at least within the industry.
That's correct.
Let's stay inside the cab for a minute. So inside, for the creature comforts, what are some of the things your fleets are adding to make the comfort really good for the drivers?
Especially for the drivers, they want APU, battery power APU. And plus, on the top of that, instead of regular batteries, I put deep cycle AGM batteries. Life is long, 4 to 5 year kind of thing. So you need not to change it. Probably, maybe 4 to 5 year, mostly fleet. They retire the truck or they sell the truck kind of thing. But again, 4 to 5 year, you need not to change the battery. And second, battery power AP, you already mentioned that.
Right.
Then inverter. When you order from the factory versus afterward, it's a very different kind of thing. You almost save the half of the price. So better the factory order inverter.
Okay.
Then the driver comfort, I suggest some fleet, they want a really heating and cooling seats for their drivers. Definitely you can get those heating and cooling seat in trucks too. Plus some fleet, not everyone right now they want, but again, like electronic braking systems,
Right.
still you can get air brake. It's rather the traditional old knobs, but again, if somebody wants, you can also get traditional like electronic brakes, like truck and trailer brakes.
Gotcha.
The advantage for those things, yes, a little bit pricey, but the advantage that in case accidentally your driver forget to put brakes, when he open the door, automatically brakes apply.
Gotcha. That's not bad safety. When you talk safety, another thing that comes up obviously is there's a lot of driver aids.
That's right.
But another thing that's kind of a bit more common as far as collision mitigation, all that. That's kind of a fleet kind of thing. But one thing I think you're seeing a lot of now is the difference in changing in the brake systems, right? So traditionally it's always drums. We definitely know that brakes as disc brakes stop better, but you're seeing kind of a hybrid of the two.
Yes. Mostly fleets, they go for hybrid brake, means the front are disc and rear are the drum. Still, they get a lot of benefit for the front because always the front brakes sometimes it's hard to adjust or over adjust kind of thing. So when they press the brakes, truck move one side. So that's why I guess the mostly fleet they prefer the front brakes or disc as compared to regular drum brakes.
Gotcha. And then so some other specs you're seeing when it comes kind of the outside of the cab. One is, something you don't think about, say, when you're ordering a vehicle, but as on the dealer side, when you're speccing it, these are things you pick up on. The license plate, like where traditionally it's always at the back, but you're seeing a better placement for this.
Yes, it is a better place for my point of view. It is go for the back of the cab. Number one, you cannot lose. Still, it's legal. Corrosion. If you put the traditional way, the backup place light, mostly in the winter time, you lose the special license plate.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Makes sense. And then, another standard thing that I think people always think is common, but something that's when we're building a truck, we actually have to pick off is, work lights or spotlights at the
Spotlight,
back, right?
yes.
Like that's another thing that if you don't ask for it and people don't think about it, it doesn't come with the truck.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, exactly. It doesn't come with a truck. You have to put afterwards or those kind of. And again, those are especially some of the fleets. They are really, really fuel sensitive. They also put fuel efficient mud flap,
Oh,
and those mud flap, if you order from factory, is much cheaper as compared to if you're adding the afterwards. So these are little things I think we have to consider when you inspecting the trucks because anyway you can do afterwards, but again the costing is increased.
right. Anything you do up front factory is usually about half the price
That's correct.
after
Yeah,
and it's quicker, right?
it's
It's
a
one
quicker.
less thing to get done when the truck arrives.
That's correct.
And another kind of thing, I know I'm starting to see a little bit more too. And you're kind of, before it was an option, now it kind of is a standard feature on a
Feature.
vehicle and you got to turn it off. If you don't want it, is lighting. It's basically pretty much all LED headlights, fog lights, interior lights,
Interior
all that
lights, yeah,
stuff.
that stuff, and plus fog lights. You can get that kind of thing. Again, some it's option because some companies they want a more chrome on their truck, and some company they don't. But mostly fleet they don't want a more chrome because more chrome is hard to maintain.
Right.
Or if something goes, like example, the chrome mirror versus regular blackout mirror, the price difference is way cheaper when after the replacement kind of
Right.
thing. Yeah.
Makes sense. And I know from mine, some of the fleets we've had, and it changed by model to model, is that bottom bumper
Yep.
you can get as a 3-piece, and a lot of my customers will leave it gray.
That's correct.
For the simple reason that that thing's going to get hit, especially in Canada winters. And if you hit the corner piece, you can take it off, get a new one. And if you leave it gray, you don't have to paint it again. You
That's
have to
correct.
match the paint. So
Yeah.
there's little tricks that you
Yeah.
can do to help save costs. Maybe it doesn't look cosmetically as great, but as a fleet owner, it saves you a ton of money,
That's correct.
which is neat. So let's get to the heart of the trucks now. So in the LT, we have two choices for for the customers. What are we looking at here?
So one is our own S13 powertrain with the T14 combination, and then Cummins Power X13 with the Eden endurance transmission. You can get both. But right now, what you can say, they lot of good things about. We heard about the S13 T14 transmission. I think I drove myself. It's great. It is so quiet. You couldn't believe that. And last couple of months, when I showing to my customer or their techs, none of them say anything wrong about that. Each and everybody says that it is like an engineer and tech. They sit together and design that truck.
Gotcha.
It's so easy to fix, easy to if the mechanic accept those trucks, it means it is something international or never started doing great.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I mean, we've had the guys from the S13 launch talk about and go really in depth so people can see it there. But from a high level point of view, what are some of the features that when you're talking to customers that the S13 has that is a benefit to them?
So as compared to traditional truckers, so there is a couple of good points. So all the marketing or market pain point or a lot of fleet their paining point they eliminate, like no EGR cooler in this one.
Right.
They eliminate EGR cooler. No VGTD turbo. There is a standard turbo pre-emission truck like that. No seventh injector. No DOC. There is no park region required basically.
Nice.
And fourth, basically transmission. No air actuator. It's electronic.
Right.
So if the air is like 80 or 85 psi, still you put the truck in a gear. And especially a lot of drivers when they are maneuvering, they're pressing number of time brakes, air drops, then a transmission have the issue. For this one, no. And especially the good part is that auto neutral. If somebody forget to put the neutral, it automatically neutrals transmission.
That's good. And another one that's kind of a weird one you don't think about is the difference between the fan blades, between the two different engines. Maybe speak to what that is and what that means from a performance point of view.
So especially traditional is a 10 blade. So this one is coming as a 6 fan blades kind of thing. It does the same work. The only big difference is, it save like 25 more horsepower in fans. So that horsepower go to your engine versus the fans. So that way you you get better fuel efficiency and plus less maintenance as compared to 10 fan blade versus 6 fan blade here.
Gotcha. So fair enough. And the S13, as we know, is starting to be well received. It has a
Yeah.
lot of plus and benefits, but there are still a lot of fleets that like to run the Cummins product. And obviously, one of the big benefits is commonality, serviceability as well. Maybe not as easy to get into, but at a lot of locations, easy to get parts, easy to find repair places anywhere within North America that can service that engine.
Oh, that's true. But again, one more benefit for S13 or international, you can sort of they have one of the bigger dealer network across as compared to our other dealer network
That's a
kind of
good
thing.
point. Yep.
So dealer plus other love other fuel partners altogether is 1100 plus. So it's a lot as compared to other OEMs. So other OEM is way less than that. We are twice bigger.
Right.
And second, one more thing, even S13 is a new engine, but each and every dealer they have to put so many parts in their in inventory, and Navistar especially they are monitoring very closely these S13 powertrain,
Right.
and their goal is anytime the engine goes down or something, they give the priority service. They look at their right very fast.
Yeah. And another thing with the S13 is the warranty. I mean, they're backing this engine up, right? Maybe walk us through kind of the standard warranties that are available right now.
So I believe that this is the one of the best standard warranty in the market right now. So the base warranty is a 2 year unlimited kilometer and 5 year 500,000 major component.
Right.
And it's also come with the 2 year. It's also covered towing also the 2 year. So I believe that this is one of the phenomenal warranty, and optional you can get for 6 year 600,000, 7 year 700,000. That's an optional one.
Gotcha.
And on the top of the transmission, it is the base warranty is 5 year 750 miles, which is 1.2 kilometer, and the clutch warranty is a 3 year and 350 miles, which is 563 kilometer kind of thing.
Gotcha.
But I believe that these are the base warranty. None of other OEM offer that kind of base warranty.
Correct. Yeah. So even when we look at the X15, we can get warranties to that same level, but it's not the base warranty. We can get up there, but at a cost, obviously. So they will support the product just as well. But obviously, coming out of the gate, they're backing this thing pretty strong with some pretty significant base warranties.
Correct. Yeah.
So that's good to know. So one of the features of the S13 and the X15 has definitely tuned itself up quite a bit well for fuel efficiency. But a lot of fleets are looking at fuel efficient tips.
Yep.
What are some of the things you've seen or have added to some of these trucks?
So the if you're going from here to USA 80 gross or 110 gross kind of thing. So mostly fleets they don't want a more than 450 horse. They prefer to 450 horse with 2.47 ratio.
Okay.
So that means when you're going 65 or 105 on highway, your engine RPM around 1100. And one more thing, before we can go forward, I'll let you know that operation range for S13. So engine operation RPM for S13 is 900 to 1300.
Okay.
1315, sorry. So 970. So lower the engine, your RPM is better for fuel.
Correct.
So that's why one of the 450 multi-torque or 1715 torque with 247 gear ratio, one of the things they pick it. And second thing, the fuel efficiency you can do, you encourage your driver on the pedal 105, sorry, on the cruise 105, pedal 100 kilometer per hour. So that way driver is more motivated to drive on a cruise. So again, you do the fuel on because you're doing more cruising.
Right.
And the third thing is that tire pressure, TPS, tire pressure monitoring system. If you install, that is another good thing, because if under pressure or over pressure, again, you lose
fuel.
You feel the fuel kind of thing. That's another thing you can do. And the gap between truck and trailer, as you know, lesser is better.
Right.
That's another tip. And again, when you spec this truck, you can get 3 different option mode. You can do that. So economic, performance plus. Some customer, they just want, okay, we don't want to go on our driver. They play around with that driver mode, performance mode kind of thing. So they always put by default eco mode.
Gotcha.
But you have option. You can order the truck with that 3 options, but in the cost for upfront like $700 approximately. My suggestion, if you really want to fuel off, focus, just built in eco mode.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Makes sense. And to your point, a lot of features as far as the skirting is available.
That's the skirting.
Right? The cab extensions, you can get 2 different lengths.
Two different lengths. So one is like a 7 and 10 inches. Again, that big difference kind of thing, because the extra, the couple of inch also make the huge difference in your fuel saving. Yeah.
Right. And then the air dams too.
Air dams too. Yeah.
And then the wheel gaps too. They've really
yeah.
focused on bringing that gap down. So everywhere where air can kind of get sucked in and create some turbulence, they're kind of shutting that down. So no, it's there's lots there to take away from. Obviously, there's tons more to dig into, but I think as an overview, this is a great kind of snapshot of what your seeing and quoting to fleets and the feedback you're getting, you keep sharing. So this is all kind of real world data that is being, utilized by fleets. So I appreciate you coming in and sharing that with us today.
No, thank you for that. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, hey, that concludes today's episode. We want to thank Manny for joining us, and to catch up on past episodes, check out transportationexchangepodcast.ca. Until next time, thanks for listening.